Hey there, hello there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to a special speedy edition of Time Travel Tennis Grand Tours Thursday. We are in the round of 16. We do have some key matchups, five seeded ladies and not a lot of men. The ladies are here in Stuttgart. They were hoping to see Steffi Graf be a hero, but Steffi Graf had a terrible day and lost to Billie Jean King, who got a massive boo as she left the court. So we have five matchups for you. Now, there's one tiny problem. I said it would be a super speedy because real life intervened on me. It wasn't like a death in the family or a death of a close one. It was the fact that my brother and my nephew, for that matter, went into my, came by and drywalled and did my basement in a sense. They're not completely done yet, but it's a drywall thing. And because of that, I lost prime recording time. So I was gonna do like the unseeded matchups. The three unseeded matchups were gonna be done right off the bat, and then I would just pretty much do like like go through the sets and all that of the seeded players for both men and women. So we have to go quickly. Anyway, our first unseeded matchup is Louise Brown, Tracy Austin. First match. So Louise Bra, who won 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah, beat Tracy Austin. So Louise Bra will move on. Her German opponent will be Carwinkle Sperling, who beat the other German Kerber in 3 sets. So Carwinkle Sperling will face Louise Bra in one of the quarterfinals. And in the third and last unseeded matchup, Dorothy Round beat Billie Jean in 3 sets, 6-4, and gets a rousing ovation because she took down the one who beat Steffi Graf. So Dorothy Round will move on. Margaret Smith Court beats Osaka-san, Look Young, 6-3, 6-4. So Margaret Smith Court moves on to the next round. The 3-6 Suzanne Langlong beats Pauline Betts, so it'll be Langlong versus Round. Classic England-France final. England-France. Mo Connolly shocked 7-6, 7-6 by Venus Williams, who does have a tournament win. I think it was Los Angeles. So Venus will face Smith Court on the right side, and then Dorothy Round will face Suzanne Langlong. So those are your quarterfinal matchups. You have England, France, US, and Australia represented on the right side. On the left side, you have US and Germany. So by proxy, it would be Kleisters would have to be Everett, and then whoever went Google got Brighto. So we would have 4 different nations on the left, 4 on the right. Maria Bueno, the 8th seed, will beat Gulagon 6-4, 6-4. So Bueno gives Brazil someone. Does Chris Everett win? She does indeed. So Everett will meet Bueno in the Cena matchup. Brow and Carmichael Sperling will meet on the left side of the bracket. All that. So that's just what you got. Everett versus Bueno. At Brow versus Carmichael Sperling, Round versus Langlong, and Venus versus Smith Court. They'll probably we're going to be broadcasting all 4. Normally, I would just let Brown, Carmichael Sperling play out, like just simulate it. But because of the German nature in Stuttgart, we can't do that. So they would go first. They're going to make Smith Court go second, then Langlong, then the Everett Bueno matchup. So that's the ladies. Now the guys in Indianapolis at the clay court. A lot of clay court icons. 6 Americans are still in. So the unseeded matchups: Nishikori versus Bruguera. The first one sees Nishikori's son win. Look Young. No, yeah, no, no. Look each. 2-6, 6-2, 6-1. So Nishikori, big win over Bruguera. He's won a tournament. The other seeded match, the other unseeded matchup sees Jim Courier beat Kevin Anderson 6-3, 6-3. So Courier will move on to the quarterfinals. So will Nishikori. Don Budge versus Andre Agassi sees Budge win over Agassi. Budge is number 3, and he's never won a tournament so far. So he beat Agassi. Good for him. Pete Sampras, he loses to Alexander Sheriff 6-4, 7-5. Sheriff has had a couple titles to his name. Wow. A couple tournaments to his name. Unreal. Ken Rosewall, the 8th seed, he beats Wielander. So it's Rosewall versus Budge. Rosewall actually had to miss a week last week because he won the previous week's tournament. That's the rule. In the meantime, Novak beats Buchholz. So Novak will face Jim Courier. That should be a pretty good matchup. On the left side of the bracket, Borg beat Riggs. A little too easy. So Borg will face Sharov. That should be interesting. And Robredo, big win over Lacoste, 6-3 in the third set. So Robredo will face Nishikori. Only 4 seeds left, 3-4, 7-8. So you see the quarterfinals on the left side of the bracket. Perfectly 4 nations on the left side. Japan, Spain, Sweden, and Germany. On the right side, 2 Americans, Budge and Courier, an Aussie, and the Serbian. So Nishikori Robredo will go first. Might as well have it because the ladies are having all 4 of their quarterfinals. And then they're saying that they will go with Borg Sharov next, and then Novak Courier, and then Rosewall Budge will because of the seeds. So we'll see the left side. I think everyone's won a tournament. Borg has, right? I think. I know Courier hasn't. But yeah, so yeah, real life had to give me a fast count. So we'll do better in the quarterfinals. We'll just do more stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna do